So let's look at clean development mechanism. First, look at the image on the left hand side. Yeah, look at the image on the left hand side and see what is written on the right hand side. Take about 30 seconds. Okay, I want you to just look at the slide for 30 seconds. After which I'll ask you series of questions as we always do. First, I'll ask you questions and then I'll explain. Okay. So the first question to all of you is, you can use the chat window if you want. The first question to all of you is, as per this figure, yeah, the fund flow is from which direction to which direction, which means you have two types of countries, developed countries under Annex 1 and all others in non-Annex. Yeah, so fund flow is from which type of country to which type of country. Can anyone try answering it? It's okay if it is wrong. In the picture, you see a fund flow. Very good. Nigar says developed to developing. Anyone agrees with her? Yeah, A to NA, which means Annex to non-Annex countries. Good. From Annex to developing countries, developed to developing countries. Excellent. That's super. Now the second question is, where is the project located? I know you have not even explained the concept, but I'm still asking questions. But it's still okay. Let's try to get this out. Where is the project located? Means which country is the project located? Non-Annex country. Okay, which means in the developing countries. Good. It is in the developing countries. Good. Now, the fund flow is from developed to developing country. The project is located in the developing country. What does the developed country get in return? The question is, what does the developed country get in return? Even partial answer is okay. Or does it get anything at all? Credit points, okay. CER units, excellent. CFT is what? I'm not sure what is CFT. Certificate, yes. CER unit, excellent. Now, since some of you have said it, now let me explain this to the whole class. Last class, what did we see? So I wanted to compare these two figures. It's very, very interesting. I'm just going back to the previous slide. Sorry, yeah. Do you remember this? I think we discussed at length. Emitter A, one country. Emitter B, this guy has produced excess carbon dioxide. What does he do? He, quote unquote, transfers the carbon dioxide to this country and pays some money. But we understood that it is not a physical transfer. It is only an assumed transfer. Okay, so this is simple carbon trading. Now, how is CDM different from carbon trading? CDM is slightly different, but the principle remains the same, somewhat similar. Again, companies in Annex 1 country, which is developed country, projects in developing country. So I'll give an example here. I think example will make it a little easier for us to appreciate it. Just give me a sec. Yeah. So this is, let's say, US. This is, let's say, Bangladesh. The same example that I gave yesterday. Yeah. US is spending money. And in fact, there is something left out. It's not just money, it also gives technology sometimes. Technology to Bangladesh to set up what? To set up, let's say, a solar project in Bangladesh. Now, please remember, this is the first difference. In carbon trading, what happened? There was no project. That is why CDM and joint implementation are called as project mechanisms. Yeah, so you have to constantly remember this, because if you don't remember, carbon trading and CDM can be very confusing for a first timer. That's why I'm taking time to explain the difference. There was no project. It was simple accounting. Okay, I give you money. Now my emission has got reduced by 200 tons. Here it is not that. You're physically spending money and also spending technology to build a solar project in a developing country, Bangladesh. Now, suppose let's say you set up a 100 megawatt solar power project in Bangladesh. Does solar power project help in reduction of GHG? The simple answer is yes. We all know that. So annually, whatever reduction has come in the country of Bangladesh, because of 100 megawatt solar. So how will they calculate? The way they will calculate is 100 megawatt of solar. How much CO2 did it save had it been 100 megawatt of coal? That's easy to do. Yeah, technically that can be done. So they will say that this many tons of CO2 has been reduced. This much they will very comfortably say. Now, for 1 ton of CO2 reduced, they get what is called as a certified emission reduction, CER. 1 ton of CO2, they get CER. Now, the question is, physically, in which country has the CO2 emission reduced? Physically, in which country has it reduced? It has reduced in Bangladesh. But who has sponsored that project? United States. And who gets the credit? Credit goes to United States. So the fund and the technology flow in this direction, and the carbon credits flow in that direction. So, is this scheme of clean development mechanism slightly better than the carbon emissions trading? If we were to ask you in a simple yes or no, what will your answer be? Clean development mechanism, is it in any way better than? Okay, so people have already started responding. Yes, definitely. Okay, so 4-5 people have already. Okay, almost all of you are saying it is yes. Can you tell me one reason why you think it is better? One reason. I'll wait because I know you may have to type. One reason why you think this is better than the earlier one of what is it? Carbon emissions trading. Excellent, guys. Excellent. So all of you have said it correctly. Building long-term sustainable infra rather than just having project. It's actual project and not just accounting. Scalable and sustainable. Now, so this is definitely better. Now, this is a positive thing. Definitely, it's a positive thing. Now, I'll ask you another question. Does this bring down the net CO2 emission at a global level? Does this CDM bring down the net CO2 emission at the global level? In terms of simple yes or